Hi there guys, hope you're doing good. It's finally Friday and it's time to jam, and I invite you to hang around. We'll have some fun. Currently I'm jamming over this backing track that I uploaded to the channel just a few days ago, which is called E Phrygian dominant backing track. And it's cool because it's a slow backing track that allows you to kind of explore the scale if you're new to it, or even if you're not new to it. It's always a good thing to practice some scales. And I love the sound of this scale because it's so exotic. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. Now, maybe that improved audio. Hopefully you guys can see and hear me. Let me know if not. I should also add, if you don't know this scale, I don't blame you. It's not one of the most common ones, but you'll find a scale diagram in the video. So if you find the backing track, you're also going to get the scale diagram, so you know where to freaking put your fingers. Antonio, what's up, my man? How are you doing? Cecils, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Sorry for butchering your username. Sorry, don't know man in the box. From Napoli, that's awesome. Stockholm, Sweden here. Where are you guys from? Sorry, back in black. I'm back in black, but I can't play it. So funny. Lillian, okay, that's easier to pronounce. Nice fretboard. Thank you, Chicken Pucker. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. So this is a scalloped fretboard. And it's a lot of fun. Wegisto4, what's up? Amonte. Sorry, don't know back in black. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so the biggest challenge here is not well, for me it's not to shred, because you can pretty much approach the Phrygian dominant scale like any like 3-note per string scale. So actually it's easier for me to just shred, but the hard part is coming up with a melody with this scale, which is a little bit more unusual. It's easier, I think, to hear and visualize melodies in the pentatonic or the minor or major scale, because those are the sounds we're used to from, you know, growing up and listening to Western music. So we can try Enchanted Enchiladas. We can try phrasing a little bit. Carlos Santana, I like it. Konga from Thailand. So let's try. Trying to come up with some phrases within the framework of the E Phrygian dominant. You can hear I really like those wide bends here. If you're feeling really brave, you could attempt. So that's one tool to create nice sounds, you know. But you could also play staccato. So in other words, dampening each note. So I'm touching the string with my thumb. So if we speed that up a little bit, we get. And that creates very articulate notes. And if you combine that with it gets really interesting. Do I rest my hand on the bridge when picking the low E string? Do I? Let's try. No, I try to avoid resting my hand on the bridge because several of my guitars have a floating bridge, and it's a pretty bad habit because that can make you go out of tune, basically. But I do kind of rest my palm on the end of the string, and that's, well, because a lot of the faster runs, I like them when they're a little bit palm muted. It can help clean up the run, so if you're not perfectly in sync, you know, it's... So I do rest my palm here, but I try to not push on the bridge. It's rather, you know, on the actual string, rather, I would say. But it's very light either way, so I don't risk going out of tune in case I'm playing one of my floating bridges. Note clean, thank you. This guitar is a Fender American Deluxe 50th anniversary Strat. So it's basically a deluxe Strat, but a little bit different wood. I think it's swamp ash instead of alder. Yeah. And I've done some stuff to it. I've changed the pickguard. I changed pretty much everything here. Put in some bare knuckles in it. I scalloped it, and here's a graphite nut, I think it's called. Yes, it's scalloped. Okay. So let's try it in action some more. Still in E Phrygian dominant now. On the... Here's a phrasing trick I spoke about. So you can hear when the backing track went softer, I stopped the fast picking and I did some legato instead to have a smoother kind of sound and not be all over the place. But when the backing track goes loud, then we can, do some more picking. Should be about now. Okay, your wrist feels tense when playing the low E, okay? Well, it could be a lot of things. I mean, if you're coming from here and you're kind of going down, you might be doing that with the wrist. And that gives you a totally different angle down here. So you might need to reposition your whole arm so that the wrist angle remains the same throughout the strings. That's another thing to think about. So picking is probably the most complex topic there is on the guitar. So lots of things could go wrong, basically. John from Indonesia, what's up? Wanna throw hands? What does that mean? Can you play acoustic guitar? I'm pretty crap at acoustic guitar. Don't know any Iranian songs. What are like two songs, 90s or 20s? Show us every single guitar you have. Whew. Every single guitar. You can do maybe a quick one. It's so messy in here. I feel ashamed. But what my favorite guitar right now is on the bench, if that's a word. So I can show you that one. Here it is. This is the one everybody's speaking about because of the scalloping. And actually, it's just my unfinished scalloping job here. But since everybody's commenting on it, I think maybe I won't finish it because I like it the way it is. And now the reason it's here is because I'm trying to find some time to crown the frets with a crowning file because the frets are pretty flat here. I guess I've, just like all my guitars, I've played them too much, which is a good thing. But I probably have like 15 guitars that need maintenance work, which is why I invested in a pretty nice set here from Music Nomad. Okay, let's see if we can get some light on these guitars and I can show you them. So here is, let's see. So here's my Strat. If we rewind it's not a Strat, it's an S-style guitar, but this is also a guitar I've done a lot of work with. I scalloped it. I done a lot of fret work on it. It's very nice now. And I put some bare knuckles in it, and yeah. So this is a cool guitar. I used to play it all the time like 6 months ago, but now my new favorite is the Telecaster. Yeah, Gibson Les Paul or Les Paul Studio Junior. Not too much to say. I haven't done too much except I've recrowned it a little bit. The frets were pretty flat when I got it, and yeah, I swapped the pickups. This is a cool guitar. I got it from All England, and it's a very nice shred guitar. I use it for my shreddiest stuff. Solo. Let's see what you guys are saying. Lobster, no, I don't. Does it feel comfortable with the deep scalloping? Yeah, for sure. So yeah, if you want me to try a guitar, I guess you could just give me a shout, and I'll see which one gets requested the most. This is a nice guitar. Actually, it's been a favorite of mine for a long time. The only problem is I'm drifting away a little bit towards that super flat neck. It kind of, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with age or something, but I can develop a little bit of strain when shredding a long time on this guitar. So I prefer like C-style Strat necks now. This is also a nice guitar I got from the company. The first vintage guitar, so this is the same brand. This one I bought and did a lot of fixes, and they liked my videos, so they sent me this one. I also swapped the pickups on it, did some fret work, and it's a nice guitar. So those of you who've been around for a long time, you probably know this guitar. Whoops. Which I haven't played for a while. Or I have, but I don't play it as often. I did record a whole bunch of videos with it recently. Some of us are older than the Pope. True. Ivan is, yeah, it rocks. Les Paul. So there, this is also my favorite guitar because it has such a nice neck, and I've swept the tremolo, which was a great improvement, but it still has some issues going back to zero. So I think it could be because I haven't replaced these. I don't know what they're called, the studs or something, and I'm not comfortable doing that on my own. So I will see what I do with this guitar. And this is also this is an electroacoustic. No, it's not acoustic at all. It's a solid body nylon string. It needs some work before I can play it now. So when I can find the time. This is also a nice guitar. So many guitars, man. I'm tired of speaking about guitars. This is my oldest guitar. I obviously have. I had guitars before this one, but I sold them, and I really regret that. But this one didn't have much value, so I kept it, and now it's also one of my favorite guitars. Very nice. So maybe we should stop now. It gets tiring after a while to just list guitars, you know. Break it. Well, I was about to break it. Hey there, Antonio. So, you want me to try the Les Paul? Let's do it. Whoops. Here it is, in all its glory. So I've been playing VVS, I've been playing for around 30 years. Okay. See how it works here. G string got out of tune, so it's not as stable as it should be. Bend it tune. I'm gonna blame it on the different scale dimension, whatever the word is. It'll take a little bit getting used to. There you have it. That's the Les Paul. Here's one guitar I didn't show you because it was standing in another part of the room. This is an LTD MH-1000. I also done some work to it. I've done a plaque to it, and I've put bare knuckles in it, and more recently I recrowned it as well, so it plays very nicely now. It's probably the guitar with the lowest string action I have. So let's maybe we should find another backing track here. D minor. So my favorite right now is the Telecaster I showed you first. I don't have any PRS guitars. This is an LTD MH-1000. Gruntak, what's up? Oh, wrong key. No, these are medium output bare knuckle pickups, not DMG. I don't like active pickups, I like low output pickups. Justus, what's up? Does sound Turkish? Yeah, maybe. Oh, we got a good question there. Any tips for playing fast? We can definitely speak about that. No, I've never tried a fretless guitar. I'd love to do that sometime. I can't play slide either, so it's just dope. So I've played for around 30 years. And good question there, how can you play fast? So it's a big topic, right? There are some general pointers I can give you, which pretty much be in control of tension. I see a lot of people come to me and it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter how much I practice, it doesn't get better. It feels like it gets worse. And that might not be an illusion in case you're being tensed and you're trying to push speed. Because your playing can actually get worse by practicing. You know, if you're trying to play fast, and this is how you practice, it's gonna get worse. So the solution is to slow down a little bit and play with consistent movements. Your movements should work when you play fast and you don't have time to think about them. They should be like machine-like. So being relaxed and machine-like movements and also small movements, you know. I had good words from, I think his name is Spiros on Instagram, where he said that he pictures picking like a bouncing ball, you know. And the closer the ball bounces to the floor, the more frequently it's going to touch the floor, you know. If it bounces like that, you won't touch the floor as often. So if this is the string, same thing with the pick, right? You want to touch the string as often as possible and play as fast as possible. Then you don't want to be like a bouncing ball that's far away. You want to feel like you're bouncing right next to the string. and that translates to super small movements, right? So instead of playing big funky, which is cool, but not if you wanna play fast, right? If you wanna play fast, you really have to movements, that can barely be seen. So yeah, ESP and LTD, very, very closely related. You're very good at playing. Thank you, Matt. So do I pick slant? That's a good question. I use a lot of different combinations. If I have to choose, it's I prefer downward pick slanting, right? So where you start with the pick parallel to the string, you angle downward. That's a very comfortable way of doing it, I think, and you can play pentatonics. It changes a lot if you angle it down, right? And even if you play like a descending lick, it's still downward. Now there are some instances where I go between both, and that's challenging. So in other words, combine downward with upward pick slanting. So usually when I try to pick like 3 notes per string, right? So when I go all the way down here, like that, then I use a combination of upward pick slanting, 1, 2, 3, and then downward pick slanting, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you get, of course, the only way around that is to use economy picking, and that would be something like this. It doesn't quite sound as cool, but it has other advantages. With economy picking, you can use constant downward pick slanting. But I prefer the sound of strict alternate picking. I think it works really well as build-up, right? So if you want to reach a melody, then you can do. And it has this nice kind of aggressive build-up. Tama, I do use a whammy bar quite a bit. Yeah, this guitar doesn't have one. It's nice to have a few. Well, I have a few guitars with a whammy bar, but they're much more maintenance heavy, and so I find myself most often playing the ones without them. So VVS, yeah, downward pick slanting. My preferred way of doing it is actually downward pick slanting meets legato. Can you hear me when the music is playing? So this is not economy picking, it's picking plus legato, and that allows me to keep downward angle. You can hear me, awesome. These are bare knuckle the mule, so they're like a medium output pickup. It's not super loud, but it's not their lowest. maybe the backing is also a bit loud compared to my playing. It's always a pain trying to find a balance when you go between backing tracks. Yeah, so small picking movements, super important. I can give you maybe a better close-up here and you can see. So that should be an important takeaway, that for a lot of those faster picking speeds, you need that kind of movement that barely can be seen. So it's a little bit easier, you know, with a close-up like this, but you should think that, well, if they're that small, then I also need to practice them that small. You can't, you know, practice like this and then expect that to somehow result in this. You gotta really practice with a small movement. You know, now, of course, there are a lot of exceptions. As soon as you want the notes to actually sound good as opposed to fast, then you generally benefit from more movement and more action and more, what's the word? Attack distance. I think there's a better word. I can't find it now. So yeah. Wrong key. There we go. It's D minor if you want to jam along. You can play your pentatonic box here on the 10th fret. I dropped the pick. Fortunately, I have another one here. Hey there, dude. India, what's up? Very cool stuff. Thank you, Joni. The amp I use, it does have a very deep sound because I'm using the Mark I voicing, which you're looking at right now, of the Mesa Boogie Mark V amp. So, and that's a very dark sounding. If you're familiar with the Carlos Santana amp, then you know that it's a very dark sounding amp. So it has really tight and punchy low mids, basically. And that works for Carlos Santana because he doesn't play in a band with lots of distorted guitars. It's not your ideal sound for cutting through. But if you want to be at the center of the stage, or if you have a band that isn't as intrusive, you know, you don't have those loud and then bright rhythm guitars where you kind of need to cut through with your lead. If that's not happening, then this kind of dark sound is awesome, I think, for you know, for what amp will make sound? Thank you for the great words, Devil. So no amp obviously can make you play like someone else, but searching for tone is a cool quest, and I think if you're playing the electric guitar, then that's one of the advantages. You can fiddle with sound. You know, if you have an acoustic guitar, well, you can do a lot of things, but you can't really change the amp, right? You can't really change the pedal board. But with an electric guitar, you have all these options, and I think they're there for exploring, not because they will be like a ticket to play like someone else, although, you know, it can help, but it's not going to get you there. But more because I think it's a part of the creative process, you know, and these days it's cheap. You barely have to pay anything to get lots of cool options if you plug the guitar into the computer and stuff like that. The strings are 09 to 46, custom set Elixir. They're a bit pricey, but they're really good because I don't have to change them as often as regular strings. I hate changing strings. Maybe a bit of wah-wah. Thank you, Kenzie. Yes, you can play like me because I don't have any parents who are musicians or anything like that. And on top of that, I probably sounded like crap for a longer time than most people. You just have to plow through it and do it because you love, you know, music. And if you play for the right reasons, you're gonna get somewhere. So that's why my advice is always to, you know, you can always listen to advice from other guitarists and guitar teachers, whatever. But what really matters is that you choose playing and practicing material that matches your musical preferences. That's the most important advice I think I could ever give you. And if you do that, it's not quite as bad if the material is too difficult or too easy for you. That doesn't matter as much if it's spot on in terms of what you like listening to, because you're going to persist for so much longer if you're, you know, the goal is to play a song or a riff or solo that you really like, you know. So that's the most important thing. Yes, this is an electric guitar. Let's go. The Mustache of Champions, I like it. So I actually got my mustache just a few months ago. It's a very new edition. I've never had it before, but I like it. Nobody else likes it, especially not my family. They want to see me the way I'm used to, but I can't help it. It feels a little bit artistic. Thank you, Rick, for complimenting my mustache. Sorry, I don't know priestess at all. So let's grab another backing track here. So all of these are from my channel. Maybe this one. So this backing track kind of goes between major and minor, so D minor and D major. So this is major. then back to minor. Ah, not yet. So still a bit of minor, I think. Now major. Back to minor. So what scales would I recommend learning first? Number one, there's one. Pentatonic scale above everything. If you're playing electric guitar, there's no point in starting with anything else, especially not if you're interested in soloing or something like that. So just the pentatonic scale. It's the easiest one. It's the one you'll find most licks for, and it's arguably the best sounding one because it has lots of strong notes in it. It's pretty much like an arpeggio, but with 2 added or 1 added extra note. So the notes are either good sounding or you can usually bend them up to a good sounding note. So right now I'm playing in D minor pentatonic. So that would be, all the frets, all the notes on the 10th fret here. And then we're gonna play 13, 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 13, 12, right? Now if you can play that and it's like, okay, I know the scale. But how do I make it sound musical? And that's when you start exploring licks. And there are a lot of licks in this scale because that's the one everybody's been playing since, back in the day, Robert Johnson or somebody. So definitely Jimi Hendrix and definitely SRV and everybody who came after. And once you've explored the pentatonic scale, maybe the major scale and the minor scale and the modes. But there's no point in being stressed about scale in the beginning. What really matters is learning new material. Because when you learn new material, you're playing scales whether you realize it or not. And before you can really make use of scales as a theory tool, you gotta have some examples and some practical experience of actually playing these scales in a musical setting. So that's why you don't really need to learn scales. Just learn any material that you like the sound of, which goes back to what I said about just playing the stuff you enjoy listening to. Yep, Aeolian and Ionian, that's the minor and the major scale. Very common starting points as well. Paul Gilbert, whew. My hand is getting a bit tired. I think I shredded too much in the beginning. That's a classic Paul Gilbert lick, right? Something like that. So I like to use that, as a basis, and then I throw in some variations of it when I play in the solo. Okay, so I'm gonna make another guitar switch, and hopefully it'll be relaxing for my hand. Since we have quite a bit of shred requests, here's one of my shreddiest guitars. It's definitely, well, the one with the highest output, and that helps for shredding. It's not a game changer in any way, but I like these pickups. Actually, one of the few high output pickups that I wanted to keep in a guitar. A lot of times high output pickups just makes me want to swap them for something low output, because I hate when you can't get dynamics out of your guitar. It's a bit like having a built-in boost pedal in your guitar. You don't really need that. You can always have a boost pedal on the floor. That way you can choose to play dynamically if you're playing with a clean tone. With many high output pickups, that's not possible. Funk rhythm. That was freaking loud. But I have too many distortion pedals in the chains for this to sound good. There you have it. E minor pentatonic, that's a classic in rock and roll for sure. Learning La Bamba, I like it, that's a classic. Yeah, Voodoo Child vibes there. So let's... Oh yeah, this is strictly minor, so we don't have to worry about going between minor and major, but it's still D minor pentatonic, so you can use your trusty pentatonic box on the 10th fret. We can try the Paul Gilbert lick in here as well. Or let's wait for the next loud section and I'll throw in the Paul Gilbert lick. Now we have to do... Okay, maybe now. Well, let's do... Paul Gilbert. Non, je ne viens pas de la Tunisie. Pourquoi est-ce que tu demandes? Est-ce que vous demandez? Je suis poli. I do speak French, but that's not because I have some connection with Tunisia. I think that's one of the languages there, right? More amazing with wah pedals. Cool, you like the wah pedal. 1 minute to midnight, don't have a gig. The only gig is right here and right now, so you're invited. Cliffs of Dover. Ooh, very long time ago. Yeah, I don't remember it. Thank you, 1 minute to midnight. Subscribing means the world. Hopefully we'll meet again very soon, thanks to you being subscribed. Hello there, Yokoma. Yes, this is a Solar A1 guitar. A16, I believe, is the model number. Nico, you're really good. You're subscribing too. Thank you so much, man. Nico, can you do a gig? So what kind of gig are you thinking? Coming to your town, play guitar? That sounds like fun. The Bone Breaker is subscribing. Thank you so much, man. How often do I stream? So I used to stream maybe like an average of 2-3 times per week here, but now I'm thinking I'm gonna do a little bit of streaming on my other social platforms as well. After all, my Facebook is more than twice as big as this one, I think. Or I'm growing so a little faster, so I can't. But almost 300,000. So it makes sense for me to be with those subscribers as well. So what I'm gonna do, at least that's the plan for now, we'll see how long that lasts, is to stream during weekends. So maybe on Friday, but also Saturday and maybe Sunday. And so I'm gonna stream both here on YouTube, but also on Facebook and on Instagram, and maybe a little bit on TikTok. We'll see if I can find the time for it. But you have all my social media links in my bio, or if you go to the channel. Sorry, don't know, save yourself. Crazy Fingers, thank you. Solo only on one string. That's a worthy challenge. So let's do the high E string. Let's do some open strings. So that's as long as I can keep going on one string. Now I have to do some. So it's a good thing to challenge yourself with that kind of limitation when practicing. So if you tell yourself, I'm only allowed to play on one string, or I'm only allowed to, I don't know, use double stops, I'm only allowed to use legato, whatever, any kind of limitation, that's going to be pretty cool, because you're going to kind of devote 100% of your brain power to that one thing. And it makes you progress on that one thing. So it's a good thing to isolate things and practice like that. And of course, when the limitation is over, all of a sudden everything feels easier, right? That's my feeling when I went from playing on one string to playing all over the place. Why don't people solo on the lower strings that much? Is it because it just doesn't sound as good? Yeah, it's harder to cut through the lower strings. The lowest note, low E, you can go down a few more steps, but after that it's just brrr. So there's nothing lower, right? So that means you're kind of competing with the rhythm section. At best the rhythm section, it might revolve around the low E string. It might be lower, it might be a little bit higher. But if you're also playing on the low E string, you're competing with the frequencies of the rhythm section. So if the rhythm section is doing something like this, which is very uncommon for a rhythm section, then you can solo down here. Most of the time, there's going to be a band that is playing the same frequencies as the lower string. So you want to be as far away as possible from that if you want to be heard, right? Which is why I think we often tend to solo on the higher register. It's easier to cut through. Tony, do I need a singer? Haha, cool question. Maybe I do. I need to learn to sing as well. Sing better. Sergio, what's up? Doing good, doing good. Thank you. Hope you're doing good too. Your hardest solo. Whew, my hands are too tired for that stuff. So I guess in general, picking is hard. Whenever you have, it tends to be like one of the harder moments in any solo, if you have this. It's hard to find, maybe a little bit stretchy legato, so. That can also be hard. I don't like playing that for too long. I get really exhausted. But even non-stretchy stuff with picking, like that kind of thing can get tricky as well, so. Fast hybrid peaking sequences. I like it. Nico, you're crazy good. Thank you. So I don't do a lot of fast hybrid picking, but I think people get confused because it's still fast, right? I might do something like this. And that feels very fast, right? And it is fast, but the hybrid picking is not very fast, right? I'm just doing this. The fast part is the legato. So this is a cool pattern, you know, just play 3 notes per string. So, you know, if we're in D minor, which is the case right now, we would do 12, 13, 15 on the lowest strings. 12, 13, 15, using just one pick strike and then hammer on. And then on the next string, we use our hybrid finger, 12, 13, 15. So only 1 out of 6 notes is going to be with a hybrid finger. The first note is going to be the pick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you try that with some music, let's try it. And it sounds almost like you're picking, right? It sounds almost like you're doing. But you're not. You're doing a lot of legato and you're muting, right? Ouch. Nico, it's been a long time since I learned other people's solos, probably 20 years or so. I don't really enjoy learning other people's songs or solos. I enjoy listening to them, and that's a great track domination. But yeah, I don't know why. It just bores me. The only thing I can really do, and I can do that a lot, but that's improvising and soloing. But I can't really sit down and learn someone else's stuff. I love working on my own techniques, you know, and practice, but not someone else. I don't know what it is. I think it has to do something with my mustache, don't you think? Why do I wear a sleeve? It's just to keep my hand warm. You know, when I do these sessions, I have some lamps that are generating heat, and I don't want to sit with a sweater because it's too warm, right? So ideally, I'd take this off, but that would turn this into a different video, I think. So I have a t-shirt, but I still want to have some extra heat here on the left hand. It just makes me be more relaxed, and yeah, seems to, you know, make it a little bit easier to play, be warmed up, and speak a little bit, take a little break like I'm doing now, and then go back to playing, and I'm a little bit warmer, basically. That's what it is. Nothing too fancy, but I perceive that it makes a difference, so I have it. Mustache on point, definitely. It has to be. Hello, sir, Arianto, what's up? Nico, I have too many guitars. You should rewind the stream when we're done. And I went through a whole bunch of them in the beginning, but I'm too lazy to get my fat ass up and show you them again. So I'm just shredding. We have an Asian username, and it always kills me when they say hi and I can't say hello back because I can't read whether it's South Korean or Japanese or something. Sorry about that. Ooh, bass guitar. That sounds like fun. Can you whip out the Ibanez and do some whammy stuff? That's a cool request. The technique from 1st to 6th string. We can try it. Do basically the hybrid legato thing on more strings. That's a cool suggestion. We can definitely do that. Just a second. That's the E and the A string, right? And we can do the A and the D string. Just going up the D minor scale here. We combine those two, we get... we can do the D and the G string. And I mean, if you don't know the D minor scale, you can practice this with any random notes, you know? You know, the point is not really the note choice, you know? I can even choose random notes here, you know? it's all about where you land. So you don't have to care so much about exactly where I put the fingers, but I repeat the same pattern throughout all the strings, right? So next set of strings, next set of strings, next set of strings, finally the top strings. So slowly. Playing strictly in D minor now. So from the beginning we get. And with the backing. I messed up one more time. Yeah, you can definitely play the same thing with a hybrid legato and a different pattern. I mean, I do almost everything, or no, that's a lie, but a lot of times I resort to hybrid legato when the other stuff isn't working. So if I have a bad picking day, or if I'm just exhausted in my picking shows. I actually recorded picking videos the whole morning, but now I think my picking hand is getting a little bit tired, so, you know. So if I'm not happy with my picking, I'll often just resort to hybrid legato. So I'll do that, you know, with any pattern that I would pick, you know. If I can pick, then I can do it with hybrid legato. Of course, you know, it doesn't sound the same. That's why, you know, there are different techniques, but I might not do the pole muted thing up here. I could. It's not as effective as down here, you know, but we can take the same pattern. And that's a different pattern. This is more like a 5 or 7 note pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 something. So 5 plus 5. It's a tricky pattern. You know, and that's also with hybrid legato. Though I prefer to pick it if my chops are up for it. Not that good right now. Ouch. So yeah. Depends on the mood. I don't know Dead Man's Lullaby. What is that? Is that like a Metallica cover or something? Master of Puppets. No, wrong. I don't have any Dean, sorry. That would be fun though. So let's see if we have another one here. Maybe this one. E minor. Our favorite key. So you can play E minor. I live in Stockholm, Sweden. There you have your black one. Doesn't fit here though. Where do you live, Nico? Finland, that's awesome. Our Eurovision Song Contest contribution. These are Finnish people, you know them. Basta. It's a very funny song. I like it. Is that song popular in Finland? It's a Finnish band. Oh, Yokoma is from Sweden as well. Hur är läget? So Nico, so you don't know the song, okay? Bara bastu. I usually think they're kind of annoying, these songs in the Eurovision Song Contest, but that one is actually has a lot of charm to it. Thank you, Yokoma Light. Stort tack. I keep forgetting the key. Sweep picking is not obvious in any way. In fact, it's very difficult. You know, maybe you can get the impression of learning to sweep pick in a few months, but can't really do that. It doesn't sound very good, you know. In order to really, you know, nail the synchronization, that's the hard part. What key are we in? E minor. Usually when someone learns it in a short period of time, it just sounds messy, you know. So if you really want it to sound good, it's pretty much as difficult as any other technique. Nico, rewind the stream when we're done. In the beginning, I show you all my guitars. I'm too lazy to get up again. Yeah, I don't have any extended range or 7-string guitars. I'd love to get like an extended range 6-string guitar, but I have no real interest in 7 strings. I think 6 are almost too much. I'd like a 5-string guitars, but those are kind of rare. Do I ever do some blues jamming? I do, yeah. I don't think I have any cool backing tracks, at least not here, that are bluesy. It's a cool request though. We could play bluesy over anything, something like this maybe. D minor. So this backing track I uploaded like a month ago. It's called Laid Back and Soulful Guitar Backtrack in D minor. I don't speak Finnish, Swedish. It's a little bit bluesy, but the rhythm is not. D minor pentatonic. Thank you, Nico. Thank you. Better than your pro brother. Awesome, man. Oops, and it's no longer blues. Sorry about that. So I don't remember any Steve Vai things, but I do. I have learned quite a bit from him and his usage of whammy bar and sliding. So the question is, should we make another guitar switch? Let's try another one. So this is a bit more Steve Vai friendly. Thank you, Neil. Fantastic playing. Multi effects. I have a pedal board with quite a few effects. Yes, I can show you. Here's my pedal board. It's very messy. Right now I'm using. Am I even using? Yeah, I am. So these two, obviously, that's just a tuner and noise gate. But I'm using this one, Silk Tone Fuzz. I have it set very low, so it's not fuzzy. But then I go straight into the Tube Screamer, actually. It's a little weird combo, but it works. And then I have a little bit of, actually quite a bit of delay and a little bit of reverb. And then that goes into the overdrive channel of my Mesa Boogie amp, the Mark I voicing. And there's also quite a bit of gain here. So it's basically you're hearing 3 gain stages. So I guess you could call that a multi-effect, though it's not a multi-effect processor. Chick. There's something I can't even pronounce. How are you doing, man? Not sure if the camera is flipped, but I don't think I've ever seen such a good... yeah, it's flipped. Thank you. I'm a right-hand player, it's flipped. So... what am I doing? Yeah, I'm playing like Vai. That's what I was supposed to do. Like, I'm sitting with this guitar, and why did I get this guitar? Well, that's unfortunate. It's gone a bit out of tune here. Okay, that'll do. Let's try it. So Steve Vai style. standard tune again. Actually, I wasn't. It must have been my ears. Just got in time. Love Vi. Awesome. Remember the old Marshall Shredmaster pedal nights? Yeah, I'd love to have a Marshall style amp or pedal. I did buy the BEOD Friedman pedal. It's pretty cool, but I can't say it really makes it sound Marshall-esque. Maybe a little bit. What's your peak grip like? It's kind of soft, and the most important thing is to avoid this kind of pinch movement, right? This doesn't work well at all. The Marty Friedman Van Halen approach. What you want to do, instead of grabbing the pinch movement, you want to naturally join your finger like this. Just, the way you would do it if you're just relaxing your fingers. So if you do this, just join them, then you can stick the pick into a 90-degree angle to the thumb. That's kind of the grip that's a natural one. The one most people use, You don't really want to play like this, like Marty Friedman. I mean, he's cool, but I don't think it's a good idea to start that way. But with this, it's pretty relaxed. Oh. These pickups are Bare Knuckle Stormy Monday. They're super low output, so probably for this kind of music, maybe I should have louder pickups, I don't know. But it makes this guitar a very versatile guitar. I like it a lot. Stockholm mysig? Yes, Stockholm is very nice. Love it. In general, Scandinavia is very, very nice. Lots of nature, lots of democracies, not many Russian dictators. We like that. Yeah, this is just E standard tuning. Sorry, Nico, I have no idea. I haven't been in the market for guitar with the Floyd Rose for a very long time, and I just know that everything got insanely expensive, so I don't recommend buying any budget Floyd Rose license or anything like that. That's really just a pain in the beauty-o. Ouch. This is an Ibanez RG 652. I don't know. I think I'm too tired for this now. So, almost 1.5 hours. That's pretty good. So, guys, I need to thank you. You've been amazing. Very nice to have this session with you. So many cool comments and questions, and just general talking points. That's awesome. So I want to thank you so much for sticking around. I hope to catch you in the next one because you've been fantastic, and I've been Christopher Dahl. See you soon, guys.